Alright, what's up, guys? So, Hot T, she has uploaded a video titled Gabby Hannah Blames Everything on T Channels. Yeah, I would imagine that this would be awkward for anybody. Well, I mean, I see, that's the thing. I've always considered Ray's channel more of a news channel and like a commentary channel. I mean, I guess that would be like the definition for a T channel, but I don't know, like I never really like held a title over, a YouTuber or anybody at that. Like it could be somebody that just strictly plays video games. I call them a YouTuber. And if it's somebody that does comedy skits, I'm like, okay, I may call them a comedian, but if I see if they post a lot of YouTube videos and they only post on YouTube, I'm calling them a YouTuber. But I've never been that person where I'm like, oh, Ray is a T channel, or Vanoss is a gaming channel, or Tyrone Magnus is a reaction channel. At the end of the day, YouTubers. And I feel like, I don't know, if let's just overall see what the video is going to be about. But if I had to guess like what she's overall going to be talking on, it's probably because of all of the stuff surrounding her name, and then all the T channels like reporting on it. It wouldn't be no different if Keemstar reported on it. Keemstar, I feel like, just doesn't want to take the time out of the day. He's probably not interested into that type of stuff anyways. And that's how I kind of see it with Ray's channel, where it's like she talks on things she's interested in, stuff that she knows about. She pays attention to a person's, obviously she's going to talk about it. I feel like this just doesn't make any sense. That's like me. Well, no, I take that back. Like, no, I was going to make an example, but I'm like, there's YouTubers that I've watched, and I'm like, I don't really care for making reaction videos. I guess I've always been a fan where I'm like, I just, go out and watch their videos. I really don't care for the reactions and stuff, but anyways, but yeah, and there's probably YouTubers that Ray follows a lot, and she doesn't be reporting on them and stuff. So I don't know. I feel like when you kind of set yourself up to have it where people are going to be talking on you, it's like, my thing is this. If all of this extra stuff that's been going on with Gabby, it's like, if that just would have been pushed to the side, or if you didn't do the things that you did, it's like, and I know people will probably be thinking like, what did she do? And it's like, there was just drama, and there was stuff that was just, taken too far. And it's like, it shouldn't have went as far as it did. Like the Jesse Smiles situation. It's like, it shouldn't have went as far as it did. But it did. And overall, it was like, yeah, let's overall see what she's going to be saying and stuff. I feel like I'm saying things and not really, giving it like any time of the day to see what she's talking on. But anyways, make sure you go subscribe to Ray's channel, Hot T, her personal channel, Ray Rahimi, and her business channel, Build Your Pocket. But anyways, let's get into this video. After this, I'm going to have me some pizza, bruh.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, do we have tea today. There's so much going on with Gabby Hanna's latest series, so today we're going to be talking about it. We're going to be talking about the second and third episode of her series. But before we get into it, I'm doing an iPad giveaway, so check out this video if you're interested in entering. It's also going to be on the screen somewhere, so you can just click on that. Also, make sure to subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and give this video a thumbs up. Alright, let's get into it. So her first video actually is all about T channels. So this is kind of awkward. It's called Hold T Channels Accountable. I'm not going to talk about this one too much because it's on a very sensitive topic, and I don't want to further add to the T channels talking about this, but I also feel like it is an important topic to report on. So I don't know. Here we go. Hopefully I don't butcher the story, but quick backstory. Last year, Gabby Hanna posted a video featuring a picture of Bianca Devins not knowing who she was.
100% for sure. This outfit right here is straight up what I wore from 7th grade to college. And now. I do have that shirt.
People got very angry.
Oh yeah, I remember that situation. Yeah, they were going off on her about that. And I remember I did defend Gabby on that. I remember talking about it, or just overall, I was like, I can't remember the whole story, but I just remember like Gabby wasn't aware of, what was going on surrounding that girl. So yeah, so I'm like, yeah, it's like, you can't get mad at somebody for not knowing. It's like, just tell them like, hey, this is the situation with this woman, and but she's like, but people that's coming after her, bullying her and attacking her all across social media and stuff. Like I do remember at one point in time I was like, yeah, I can relate to Gabby on this, because I'm like, well, for what? Like, for no reason. But anyways,
and started hating on her and saying that she was exploiting a child's Gabbie apologized, but now she's saying it wasn't even her fault. It was just the T channels who exploited the story and caused the family trauma with all their videos on the topic.
And the family has gotten on camera and said that they were hurt by what these people did to them.
We didn't see anything wrong with what she did. She Googled e-girl and pulled up a picture of Bianca. Simple mistake. It was a simple mistake. There was nothing disrespectful about it. We didn't feel disrespected. We don't feel Bianca would have been disrespected. We think Bianca would have been honored and so excited that Gabbie Hanna pulled up her picture and was talking about her for a compliment. You know, they had the same shirt. No one should be offended. No one should be. All these drama channels that are using Bianca for clout, it's absolutely ridiculous because that's all you're doing.
And that's why I'm like, I just thinking, and I even think I had said that back then. I'm like, that's just people just hating on Gabbie. It's like, I think that was at the time when Gabbie was just getting unnecessary amounts of hate for no reason from like, well, I guess T channels, but it's like, I was more so seeing it from like commentary. I went, because I feel like there's a difference when you really like separating the two. But yeah, there was like commentary channels I was seeing. I was like, hey, yo, for what? Like, why is you so mad at this girl? Like, my thing is what did she do to you personally? Because I didn't really know the extent of like Gabbie Hanna and all the stuff that she's been involved in. But I just know that it was like her transformation from Vine to being a YouTuber. It was like, I think that was like that with a lot of YouTubers, is that, or with Viners, was that people didn't like the fact that they all just like, you know, made their mark and territory on YouTube. And so that's why I'm like, I just think people out there, they just be hating for no reason. But yeah, and this is one of those reasons. I'm like, hey, yo, y'all was hating on Gabbie for what? Like, but anyways.
You guys also shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Not about Gabbie Hanna complimenting her shirt.
Yeah, Gabbie wasn't using Bianca for clout like all these drama channels now want to turn it into something that it's not. She didn't do anything wrong. And even though she didn't do anything wrong, because so many people were offended, she did reach out to me and Olivia and apologize. And we told her there's no reason for an apology because we don't see that you did anything wrong. So we think what you guys should be offended by is now other people want to bring about drama and use Bianca's death for clout.
Yeah.
And these disgusting people that are exploiting my daughter's death for clout and likes and follows and profit.
And there has not been an apology from them. That to me is infuriating.
I have to side with Gabbie in that she really did just scroll through a feed, come across a picture of a girl.
It's like, if you don't, my thing is like, if you don't know that the person is dead, like, my thing is like, there's at times, there was this one artist, I was like, I was listening to her music and I didn't know that she died. And it's like, if I were to, you know, like, crack a joke or say something, it's like, my thing is like, I'm based off of the knowledge of not knowing. I don't know. Like, you can't get mad at me for not knowing. And I'm like, and if people do that, then it's like, okay, then you just have this weird hatred towards me and you need to seek help for it. But yeah, I was, you know, I remember when that situation went down and I'm like, hey, yo, why is people hating on her? Like, because she didn't know that a woman, like, you know, she wasn't here with us. Like, that's not a reason to be mad at her. Like, I really don't care what y'all are mad at her for, but I'm like, that's definitely not a reason to be mad at her. But
I didn't know. And like, that was really it, right? Am I missing something here? And then she addresses the drama channels who kept talking about it directly.
You used the murder of a child to exploit me, and that is disgusting. You used me as a shield, accusing me of exploiting Bianca Devon's name, face, and story for money and clicks, when all I ever did was for a fraction of a fucking moment show her picture and say I liked her t-shirt. You, on the other hand, plastered her name and her face across your thumbnails and your titles and reduced her to a murder victim who Gabbie Hanna exploited?
Gabbie apparently came out afterwards saying that she did know about Bianca Devons because the article that she came across was literally about her.
I didn't read the fucking article. I was looking at pictures. And you knew that, Angelica Oles.
She says that she did the right thing because she tried to handle the issue privately and quietly, but the same couldn't be said for T channels. And she specifically calls out Angelica Oles and asks her to apologize to the family, and then also mentions Dustin Daly, the viewer's voice, aka Nick Snyder, Rapzilla, Anna Oop, Spillsash, Ready to Glare, Ashley Kyle, and Trisha Paytas. And she ends off the video with this adorable scene.
Oh, so yeah, it's like, Ray, you know, she's in the clear, I would say, but, I mean, there's still more to the video, so let's see.
Again, she has likes and dislikes off, And she added a little author's note in the description saying, "When I say drama channels, what I mean is T channels, not the channels who report facts and do commentary. The ones who omit important information / report in a biased manner / spin completely false narratives and exploit other creators for money. The ones who will flip their opinion in a matter of seconds if they think that's what will get them the most clicks. These channels are as bad or worse than the tabloids you see in a grocery checkout line. I'm not their only victim, and I assure you, if something isn't done,
I'm like, I feel like Ray's channel, like I don't know. It would be like maybe along the lines like a local like news station, but it's like those ones. It's like, okay, I'm only turning to this channel and this channel only. Like that's how I see Ray's channel. But like, is that rude? I feel like that's rude. You know, I take that back. I ain't mean that. Ray's channel is Ray's channel. I'm gonna like it regardless. But yeah, that's what I'm like. I just don't. I would if there were ever a time and there's people that have like tried to come to my channel and get on me because I want to react to Ray's videos. And I'm like, look, at the end of the day, Ray is my friend. Like, I'm not going to stop being friends with her, stop like promoting or helping her channel grow. Like, I know it's probably very little, but still, I'm like, there could be a person that watches my video and see that I'm reacting to her a lot and like, oh, let me go check her out and see, why TMossBoss likes her video so much. And overall, and I never really seen it where it's like Ray's done these videos and she's like reporting on, stuff that ain't real or is fake and, fake news and crap. Like everything she reports on stuff that she's looking at, like this video, or she doesn't just go based off of whatever and things. So that's why I'm like, that's why I really only at the end of the day watch Ray's videos when he comes to this type of stuff, because I'm like, she's a reliable person to go to.
Won't be their last. What they do is clear creator harassment, and YouTube has offered no protection. It's extremely heartbreaking to me that the platform I called home for so long refuses to enforce their own rules when so many channels are in clear violation. These channels have pushed me to the brink of suicide and have made their careers on lying about me. If you don't believe me, check their views when they speak about me versus when they don't. There's been a lot of backlash from T and drama channels in response to this video. T-Spill tweeted, "Gabbie Hanna named me as someone who made a video on her and Bianca that needs to apologize. I never made one." These channels had absolutely no way of knowing the mother was okay with Gabbie's video. Gabbie didn't even know the mother was okay with Gabbie's video until she reached out after getting tons of backlash. We can't see into the future to know that. Okay, but like in Gabbie's defense, when she uploaded the video, she didn't even know anything about Bianca, so it's like, it's not like she could have done anything about it. Nick Snyder also tweeted, "Sorry doesn't sit right with me going on a video to drag channels while using the death of someone you exploited. Seems as if your image is more important than the girl's life you claim to be so sorry over. You weren't sorry when you did the original video, and you still aren't." Dustin Daly also tweeted, "Yeah, let's make this video about Bianca when there's a whole slew of shit Gabbie has done aside from that. Kenza Cosmetics scam, trying to get children's IP addresses, mentally abusing Jessie, trying to destroy Alex, having her fans harass Jen to make her lose her job. Should I keep going?" This is the tweet that I mostly agree with. Like, yeah, Gabbie, address this stuff, please. I also want to read this comment saying, "Gabbie said drama channels plastered her name, her face on thumbnails." Okay, so this is whataboutism at its finest. Okay, I did this awful thing, but what about these people? Gabbie, sweetheart, drama channels just report on public knowledge. They didn't make you look bad. You already did that. So what do you want?
It's like, so that's like the stuff that I be wanting to say in videos, but I'm just like, is that going to be harsh? But then when I hear it, I'm like, okay, so it's not harsh. But yeah, overall, I'm like, there are things that Gabbie has done, and I'm like, yeah, you did bring that on yourself, so you can't really be mad at other channels and stuff. But anyways,
want them to be held accountable for. The only reason you hate them so much is because they never stop talking about the dumb shit you do, including using Bianca as you did and talking nonsense about ADHD. Absolute buffoonery. Gabbie also went to defend the videos that she's making and called it art.
All that was to say that, yeah, it is art to me. Like, it's a piece about like a girl literally watching therapy, like her therapy sessions, but the therapist is my camera. And I'm unloading in a way that I could never do in therapy because of fear of judgment or time limit or confusion, like human error. Like, it's just me, dude. Like, I don't have to explain and over-explain because I already know what's going on. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, like even just trying to explain to somebody how my job works. You know what I mean? It's just too hard, man. So yeah, I think it's like a really cool series. I'm really proud of it. Like I'm really proud of it for a lot of reasons, because I can see myself grow as a person, an artist, and an editor. You'll definitely notice as the series goes on, like you'll see the editing change, because it goes from like super shoddy to like kind of dope. I explore myself like artistically and creatively a lot in it. Like this series has opened me up in like such a cool way. I've truly found myself. People think is me being crazy or losing my mind, which maybe it is, but like that's just who I am as an artist.
And just because Gabbie has specifically been calling out Angelica Oles, here's what Angelica said about Gabbie when it all went down.
And she just looks at the picture, doesn't read the caption, or she does, she just doesn't care. And she goes, oh my god, I used to have t-shirts like that. Yeah, that'll be good for my aesthetic. And she just goes on about how that's like, oh yeah, we'll just do a look somewhat like that. And she just forgets to realise that that is a murder victim and doesn't address it at all. If that was me, I would have just cut it out the video. Even if you didn't realise, editing you should have realised that that is such a thing to do, to look at a victim and be like, oh yeah, that t-shirt's nice, I would love to dress like that, yeah, I remember dressing like that, yeah, we'll use that for the e-girl video, and just forgetting to mention the fact that that is literally a girl that isn't here anymore. Oh, it just blows my mind how unaware she is of how shitty of a human being she is.
I don't think Angelica said the most terrible things in the world for Gabbie to be putting her on blast like that, but I also agree that we can't blame Gabbie for not recognizing who Bianca was even during editing. Like, the worst crime was just missing the article. That's not grounds for the hate that she's been receiving. Angelica
that's
also...
why I'm like, I just think that people was taking it too far. I'm like, there's my, like, I feel like Gabbie, and that's kind of who I am, but I'm like, I haven't really, I don't think I've ever made that mistake where I'm like been making a video and just, you know, like we're along those lines. But I think if I were like into like, you know, I would somewhat like skim the words and stuff, but I'm more so looking at the photos and stuff. So that's why I'm like, if I was in Gabbie's shoes, like I still wouldn't, you know, feel bad, especially after like reaching out to her family and they're all like, hey, there's nothing for you to apologize for. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, now I'm not in the wrong for what I did. Overall, like, and then I just left it as that. I'm like, okay, well, as long as the family is cool, I'm like, yeah, you guys are just, you know, doing this for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm like, I didn't mean no disrespect. Like, I was just looking at photos and stuff. So yeah, I just, you know, I just think that there's people out there that, you know, they just hate Gabbie a little bit too much. I'm like, hey, yo, like, relax, okay? That's
I never used Bianca's name for clout, not on my title, not on my thumbnail, not on my tags. I reported on a story that many people sent in. No one from Bianca's family reached out to ask for an apology, so my assumption was they didn't want one, / didn't want to continue dragging this on. However, she later corrected herself in a tweet saying, it has come to my attention that I did have Bianca's name in my thumbnail. This was not for clout or attention, but I can't see how it could be used in that way, so both have been blurred. Thanks for bringing this to my attention. I also want to mention that on Gabbie's last video, Jessie Smiles tweeted about it, saying, Gabbie, I don't know if your plan for me in the series is to follow through with your threats from last summer of talking about our past. I do, however, sincerely beg you to leave my trauma out of it. Stop using the clips of me crying. You've done enough. Leave this out of it. And she put this clip over audio of her talking about people who tried to put a target on her back. I get it, Gabbie. We had a toxic falling out after our friendship ended. Please leave me alone now. I have been physically ill every day wondering what she's going to say. If she's going to present situations with context or without. If I'm going to be harassed over it. I just want to fucking crawl in a hole. I'm so beyond the point of over this. What's also interesting is that when Gabbie uploaded this video, hashtag apologize to Jessie Smiles started trending on Twitter, which is hilarious because just last week, hashtag apologize to Gabbie Hanna was trending. It's just funny how the internet works, man. Now let's move on to the third episode of the series, which she just dropped a couple of hours ago. It's called To the People I've Hurt, Past Problematic Content. In this video, she says she wants to take ownership for the inappropriate or racially charged content she's put out. She starts off with this line.
I love running through black neighborhoods with my shirt off. I'm gonna steal all of your baby daddies.
I can't say that it was okay at the time, because I remember there being a lot of comments of people being like, this is racist.
She said that
hey, I'm like, so that's... now it's like thinking about it, I'm like, so there might have been a reason why people was going off on her. Dang, I guess that was just a video. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Do I remember this video? I don't think. I might have seen it and just wasn't really paying attention to it and stuff. But yeah, having a Gabbie Hanna moment and stuff. But my thing is like, that's kind of, you know, my sense of humor in a way. Like, I probably did see it and laughed about it. It was just like, hey, yo, that girl, you know, she she has like a sense of humor to her. I just want to let people know, like, it takes a lot for me to, like, I get freaking comments of people calling me the N-word and other racist derogatory names. Seeing stuff like that, it's like, it ain't no different if they, show it in a movie, or it's like, and I know if people, if they have been offended by that video, it's like, okay, you're offended. I can't tell you to not be offended by something, but just to overall speak on myself, I know people will ask me, how does that make me feel? I'm like, I just would laugh about it. And I'm like, and I probably would turn around and not even being petty, but it's just like, to just see that and just see how open somebody, I would crack jokes myself, but yeah, I did, like, I don't know. It's just I don't think that's a reason to hate on her and stuff, me personally, but yeah, I'm like, there's far more worse jokes that's being said out there, but anyways.
At the time, she didn't think it was racist, but definitely realizes it now and apologizes.
Yeah, it's like with this day and age, it's, everything is just, you can't say or do certain things. So.
But she also mentions that that was the kind of humor that she was raised on and was exposed to growing up. She then acknowledges that she's made several other racially charged finds, including this one.
And I said to yourself, I'm not your slave. Bitch, what am I at?
And again, at the time, people were like, this is racist. And I'm like, I'm in a room full of black people. Obviously, I'm not racist. This is okay. I'm being co-signed by other creators.
She states the fact that a lot of the
Makes
time,
sense.
black creators and comedians and actors are stereotyped into the token black person role, and she unfortunately put her friends in a situation like that as well. She also apologizes for having taken so long to apologize for all this. She was always kind of waiting for the perfect moment, but the perfect moment doesn't exist, especially for Gabbie, because she's always in some sort of scandal somehow. She also apologizes for all of her insensitive or inappropriate tweets she's put out in the past.
I feel like I made a lot more jokes than I'm aware of in relation to kids. When I see them now, I'm like, oh, ew.
She says that at the time it felt okay to write because those were the kind of jokes that comedians were making or were in South Park and were doing very well at the time, and she was only contributing to it. So she thanks everyone who held her accountable for her actions. She also thanks those who supported her during this time, but also asks her fans to stop defending those tweets or vines.
I should be held accountable to that, so.
Quick question though for you guys. Is the stuff that she addressed in this video the same stuff that people are talking about right now? Because right now people just want her to address and apologize to Jessie Smiles, right? Like, is she waiting to come out with a whole entire video on that?
Probably.
I don't know, man. I really hope so. One user
Probably like
commented,
the last
you should
few
be held
videos.
accountable, but the way the internet has treated you in regards to things like this is not holding you accountable. It's just painting you as a monster because of everything else. Of course you were defensive. People were attacking you, not bringing to light bad things you've said and done. Okay, so that was it on Gabbie. Just to change the mood a little bit, here's a picture of Jeff Wittick looking hot as fuck. I mean, look at that. He also posted this caption. This was for the 1 year anniversary with his run-in with the death crane, saying, there's no words to describe how grateful I am still to be here and have the love and support from all of you. I also just want to give a big thanks to the people that helped fix me up. I'm lucky and fortunate enough to get the treatment, and most importantly, have it covered by David Dobrik. As it should, LOL. Thanks, Dave.
Right there. Look, I'll suck your dick, Daddy David.
Speaking of Jeff
What?
Wittick, he also talked about and responded to Trisha Paytas. If you guys remember, Jeff on his podcast commented on Frenemies ending. Trisha Paytas tweeted at Jeff being like, oh, it's funny that you're talking about toxic relationships when your friend literally tried to kill you once. And so this is Jeff's response from his podcast.
And you know what? I said some shit in the last podcast. It feels so long ago. But I said, I was like, yeah, oh, Frenemies was toxic. All these fucking bullshit Frenemies fan accounts. And you know who I'm talking to, you motherfucker, Deaf Noodles. You fucking little weasel. Trisha tweeted me back saying our relationship's toxic when you almost got killed by your friend. And everybody liked the tweet and loved it like it was some big major clapback. Like, you guys had a fight live that fell apart while eating Domino's pizza. That's the content you want to make? Look, people love the drama. So I get it. I understand. But don't clap back at me by saying, oh, your friend almost killed you. Yeah, I didn't want that to happen. You guys chose to eat pizza and argue about money, and your relationship fell apart, and then you sabotaged each other's families and the biggest, deepest, darkest secrets. Yeah, that's toxic. Okay, I'm still friends with the kid who hurt me.
It's just weird to weaponize that.
And that was it for today's video, guys. I
Makes
really
sense,
hope you
makes
guys
sense,
enjoyed
makes
watching.
sense.
If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye.
Yeah, with Gabbie, it's honestly, it's up in the air. I mean, like, there's parts of me that support some of the things she says, and then there's parts of me that's just like, hey, I at the end of the day, look, I'm gonna say this. I hope and pray the best for Gabbie Hanna. I hope that cause man, this to me is like, this is equivalent to just having like some straight up stomach pains and it ain't going away. And you're trying to figure out like, do I drink water? Do I just lay in bed? Like, what do I do? And it feels like it's getting worse. Eventually it's gonna be done and over with, and that's how I'm seeing this whole hate train with Gabbie Hanna, and I hope that it's like that. I just hope that there is a day where this woman can have a career where it's just like she's cool with people, and like it's just not wild with her. But anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you go subscribe to Ray's channel, Hot Tea, her channel, Ray Rahimi, and her business channel, Build Your Pocket. Like, subscribe to me too, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.